Transit 22.
What up, it's your boy 17.
Yo, what's up? I'm Z the Free.
What's good? I'm Entropy.
Yo, what up? I'm Yo J, and together we're whatever.
Yo, it's Young Pablo Mito.
When you're listening to HipHop Xertified.
HipHop Xertified.
HipHop Xertified.
HipHop Xertified.
You're watching HipHop Xertified.
What is good, HipHoppas? Esteban Xound here with HipHop Xertified. We're all just on our way to pick up Michael, aka MC GoodMedicine. It's a beautiful day again. We got blessed with the sun. So yeah, should be fun. Hey.
Everybody sit your bitch ass down and listen. True motherfucking story told by kids. Lamont Rose cringe.
What is good, HipHoppas? It is Esteban Xound here with HipHop Xertified, the drive-by. And I'll tell you guys a story how we found this name. But today we have a very special guest. This man, he's a podcaster, an MC, a community leader, a medicine man.
Well, I don't know if I go that far.
I would say definitely, at least a medicine man, because you're studying that, right?
Right. Yeah, well, I think I study medicine. Yeah, like, philosophically, I would say. Possibly for real, you know, in like 4 years. But like, for real, in the Western sense, you know, what you would think a doctor is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but so what up, yo? My given name is Michael Daniel Broadfoot. Daniel's my dad's first name. My Blackfoot name, given to me by my elder Mexican of the Siksika Nation, is Apiskonaki, which means far shooter. And my hip-hop name is MC GoodMedicine, because I believe words can be good medicine. Yeah. So I think about the medicinal effects of lyrics, I guess you could say, or words. Even just like speaking, like not even the lyrics themselves, just like sometimes the act of conversation or freestyling.
So I get a question for the viewers out there. What does good medicine mean? MC GoodMedicine, what does that mean?
Yeah. So I think so I've had a lot of different teachings over the years here, and a lot of it has to do with what is good medicine. And so some of my elders, you know, will talk about things like a good conversation is good medicine, or like you know, a hug, for instance, can be good medicine. But we don't think about these things as good medicine. So I want to get people to think about culturally, you know, using medicine, which is to say, like, culturally trying to promote health.
Word. Through, like, the use of words and conversation.
Yeah.
And music.
Yeah.
I know you're also, like, you make music.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny, man. I really...
well, I guess tell the people what you do.
Yeah, sorry. So, yeah, I'll introduce... so I'm one of the co-hosts of the Sweety Treaty Show.
Yes.
Yeah, we just published our 30th episode, which is like...
Wow.
It's crazy, man, to do 30 episodes of anything. Like, you just kind of do it, and then all of a sudden you're at, you know, where you're at. But yeah, so we do... it's like a hip-hop show, but it's also a community show. It's got a lot of indigenous content, and yeah, we try and also facilitate some difficult conversations around things, you know, like mental health, for instance. Absolutely. Which I feel like you're, you know, in that domain too. I feel like we have a lot of overlap with what, you know, the art that we make and the work that we're doing.
Absolutely. And the reason why I wanted to bring you on is just because, like, you're definitely a huge influence in how I first started doing this. For those who don't know, when I was really questioning whether I was going to do a podcast or put out some media and whatever, right? I was just listening to the Sweety Treaty Show, and I was like, okay, if these guys can do it, then why the fuck can I not do it?
Right?
You know what I mean?
Well,
because it was somebody that I could, like, reach in the community, I could talk to.
Right. Totally.
and it's like, okay, these guys are doing it, so it's like, man, it was like a light.
Yeah, and for real, I think like starting off your own thing, like, cause it still feels like when you see we're doing the show, you know, it looks different from the outside than it does the inside, you know, like we're, you know, figuring things out, but like people are really coming to know the Sweety Treaty Show, and they're really starting to feel with it, and I think that's cool. But it doesn't always, like when you're producing something, it's the, you know, the kind of creative freedom that you have. You wonder sometimes, you know, like, you know, how are people going to respond to this? Yeah, like I think like if we want to control what our impact is, it should be the number one response to art should be more art, man. So I really feel honored when you say that. Like that's
Word.
Like that's like the best impact you can have on somebody.
Word. So I do want to start off as well by telling 2 stories.
Yay! I like stories, man.
Yes, the stories is the first time we met.
Yeah, okay.
Do you remember the first time we met?
Yeah, Cypher Club.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And I want to say that day you spat like. Can I swear here? Can I swear?
Yeah, you can swear.
Fucking really good freestyle, man. I don't remember exactly. Like, it's so funny. Sometimes you don't remember exactly what somebody was rhyming about when you're freestyling with them in a cypher, but you remember how you felt when they were freestyling. And I remember how I felt. Yeah.
Word. That's good. I'm glad it was a good freestyle. But it was actually my first, like that was the first time I went to Cypher Club.
Really?
That was the first time we met. Was the first time I went to Cypher Club.
I wonder, was that my first
Yeah,
time
I
too?
think so.
Damn!
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And you know what's wild about it? Because I remember I was driving into the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing somebody walk across the street. Some guy with a long beard and long hair, and I was like, okay, who is this guy? But something told me this guy's going to Cypher Club.
Oh, yeah.
And so I pull up, and I'm like, yo, this is the guy I just saw walking across the street.
That's right, yo, we all walked up out front. That's right, we were all, Kareem was there.
Kareem was there, Don was there.
Don was there, Jonah was there. They were skateboarding.
Yes.
Yeah, and I didn't know if that was the place, because Zoe had asked me to come out so many times. I was saying this last night too. I was like, no, like I'm too cool. Like I didn't say I'm too cool, but like, you know, you kind of like prioritize things in your head. And it's so funny. I say that now because of how much I enjoy and how much I get out of going to Cypher Club. Yeah.
Word, how did you even get hooked up with Cypher Club?
So, well, like I'm a student at Mount Royal University. I study health science with a minor in Indigenous Studies, and yeah. So I've gone back and forth. I spent some years at U of C, but I got connected with Zoe through Mount Royal, and I'd also been doing a lot of work on campus. Like I worked on an event called Trading Post 150, and that was kind of like a community development project that I kind of helped facilitate, did some teamwork kind of stuff on that, and I got to know Zoe kind of, I think, through Reputation, and I feel like she kind of got to know me through Reputation before we...
Really?
Yeah, and then...
there was like a mutual respect as soon as you guys saw each other, like, oh, okay, we know this guy's been in the community, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and that's like, yeah, that was something that was really cool, because like, I didn't... It's so funny, man. Like, art is so funny. You are vulnerable when you're making your art, but like you won't, and you feel really good when you're making it, but like, you know, we still, you know, it's just funny. Yeah, I do make music. That's the thing I guess I'm trying to say, is I do make music.
Yes.
And before I was going to Cypher Club, I was trying to create like my own studio at home.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I still am. It's just, it seems to me like I'll have like a project that I'm working on, and I'll be like hustling on that, and then there'll be something else that interests me or that I want to work on, and I'll go and work on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the second story I want to tell is the first time in the Sweety Treaty Show that you invited me there.
Yeah, and you know, I was looking through those photos too. We all were repping your shirts,
The
man.
Sound Movement.
Yeah.
So shouts out to Sound Movement, which is it's in a resting place right now.
Yeah.
But it will be resurrected sometime in the future. But right now we're repping HipHop Xertified.
Yeah.
We'll have some t-shirts coming up soon. So you guys that subscribed and support the channel, we will have some t-shirts, some stickers, everything coming soon. But
yeah,
this summer. But yeah, do you remember the first time that I was on the Sweety Treaty Show?
Yeah, and you know what I remember about that episode is that, so like we were growing as hosts, right? Like I kind of figured I could do the job as a host, because you got to remember, like when we're doing the Sweety Treaty Show, we're figuring this out as we're going. It's not like we came in and we're like, hey, this is exactly how you do it. It's like we call it prototyping. We talk about that a lot now. It's like we're trying different things. And when you were on the show, up to that point, we had to kind of initiate the conversation, or we're really worried about facilitating it.
Right.
And I remember, like, you came in and were like asking questions. You were almost like more host than, you know what I mean? I felt it. I was like, hey, all right. This is like, you know, when you're adjusting to different people too, they got different, you know, and the conversation is what you're kind of going for, the connections. So that was really cool. Like you brought some energy, you know what I mean?
Word. You know what? I came prepped like, okay, I gotta show my ass off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
I was like,
seem
yeah,
prepped,
yeah.
man.
I was like ready. I was like, yo, I gotta come ready.
Yeah.
For real. Okay, so my question is, how did you guys come together in the Sweety Treaty Show? Like, how did you guys start off? What was the original vision? How did you guys come together? Right.
Well, I think the original, like if we were to tell the whole story, it's that. So while I was working on Trading Post 150, I had Wacy Little Light come to me. I remember sitting in the old library. So Mount Royal's got a new library. I really shout out to the old library because that was the best. So I was sitting at one of these old tables, and Wacy had asked if he can come talk to me. So he's got this notebook, and I think people who work with me after a while start to carry notebooks more, because it seems to be how I work, and people dig it. So Wacy shows up with his notebook, and he's got all these ideas for a show, like this kind of visual, you know, kind of like you would think like the major late night kind of shows, and he's got skit ideas, all these, like, and Wacy is like amazing for idea generation. Like his creative, I think, potential or creative kind of flex is really, really big. So Wacy came to me like stoked, you know, man, like we got to work on this show together. And I was like, man, like I feel you, but I like got these projects I'm working on, and I'll support you doing it, but like I can't take this on. Okay. Because I do tend to go pretty into whatever I'm working on. Right. So I'm really, you know, not like meanly, but like I definitely choose what I'm working on and what I don't. And so anyway, so I was like, no man, I'm good. So like fast forward like a year and a half, I was kind of doing some other things.
Wow,
working on
a year and a half.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
at least I might even be getting this is just insert like a large period of time.
Right.
And Wacy and I were heading down to the Blood Reserve, and we were just like chatting about it, and I had kind of just finished another summer project, or was in the middle of a summer research project for school, and he asked me like, yo, you want to do this show? And I was like, yeah, that could be fun. Like I really try and be open, I think, to people's ideas, you know, and talk it through, because that's part of that process for a lot of people. So I was kind of doing that. I was still non-committal, right? Like,
like half, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like you know,
on Mulan when the guy comes in and like dips his one toe in the water. Okay, that's what that's like. It wasn't even like half in, half out. It was like one toe. And so we're like, you know, talking about it, and it's sounding kind of exciting to me. And I was reflecting on the different projects I worked on. You know, for instance, I did another event called Stand Up for Mental Health. So we sold out Yuck Yucks and raised a bunch of money for student clubs on campus through putting like 10 people who would identify as somebody who struggles with their mental health, and train them as comedians and put them on stage, and we like killed it.
Word. That's awesome.
But I was reflecting on all these things, and it sounded really great, but it was also like challenging work, you know, like there were so many moments when I was so stressed. So I was talking with Wacy about this show idea, and I said, yo, if we do this, we have to make this project for fun. Like, we can't make it something that is like just gonna create work, because the thing is, I can work really hard, but like, what kind of existence is that? You know what I mean? Just like grinding all, not saying that like don't hustle, like you gotta hustle, but like
the outlet that you choose to like in your free time should be fun.
That's exactly
Absolutely.
it. Yeah, and like there's so many aspects to it. So the relationships that you build doing that art should be growing as well. And so if it's always just work, like if you're thinking that way, it's really hard to relate with people in a good way. So I was thinking about all these things, how my relationships had carried past my last projects, and it was really important for me to do this in a good way that's positive. So anyway, so we're driving to the blood reserve. It's kind of this idea. About a week later, we're driving back. Topic comes up again, and he's like, well, you know, how do we, you know, we want to do this? And so it was Wacy who pushed to get the show started. And I was like, okay. And I still, maybe I'd put a foot in, not just a toe, but I'd like maybe put a foot in at this point. And we booked a Thursday, I remember it was. And we had some folks show up. Actually, it was just Nick, DJ Nick, a.k.a.
DJ Nick. DJ Nick.
So Nick showed up, but we hadn't met before. That was the first time that we had met, and so we recorded this like 30-minute episode. You can find it now. It's called episode 0. It's on Wacy's SoundCloud, not on our Sweety Treaty Show SoundCloud.
Right.
Or any of the podcast mediums. But yeah, and we were like concerned. I remember one of the conversations we had was like, you know, can we really fill like time for can you really come up with things to talk about for that long? And and like the answer is yes, because we like talked for 30 minutes and it didn't feel like anything. We didn't like do anything in particular, and that's kind of like how the show kind of started. And then the following week, Elijah came, and there was this other girl that was there, and so the three of us were like talking, and I was like sharing, you know, we're looking to do something for fun. We're looking for people to work with, and you know, if you're interested. And the way Nick will tell the story, he might correct me. You should get DJ Nick on here sometime.
Yes, yeah. Definitely get DJ Nick on here sometime. Shit.
He thought it was going to be this like dry kind of I hate to like say this, but like internal project, you know, like it was just going to be something that people within the university wanted, not like some sort of creative student-led project. And so he got into it and started to feel it like could kind of see what we were trying to do. Elijah came on to kind of see what we were trying to do, and then we kind of made it official. I think I want to say it was like, you know, 6 to 8 episodes in or something. We had kind of said, okay, like we've made all these episodes now, let's like make this official. Here's our crew, the 4 people.
Oh, so you guys had like pre-recorded shows before you even put them out?
No, they were going out, but this is like the thing when you're creating projects, it's not, you can't like always get everything in order. You know, you can't have everybody fully committed all the time. Sometimes it's like collaboration. You're just kind of like asking people to be a part of what you're doing and asking them to see how they feel about it.
Right.
And we didn't want to work here. So there's like some show philosophy for you. We don't want to work on something that we don't want to work on, and we also don't want to work with people who don't want to work on the show. Like,
absolutely not. That does, yeah, absolutely. If somebody doesn't want to be on the show, then there's no point, right?
But people will still say, "Oh yeah, that's dope, man. I want to do that." Da 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 da. You know, but they don't actually. Like, you have to like get somebody who can be honest with how they're feeling, and some of that maybe it's not always 100% there, but you have to try and get some genuine I'm really interested in this.
So how do you kind of weed that out as you pick? I wouldn't say weed that out because that sounds like a negative connotation. But how do you kind of filter who comes to the Sweety Treaty Show and who doesn't?
Yeah, well, I think like for the first while we were like, damn, like we got to get all these guests booked, and like I would like stress about like, are we getting enough guests booked? You know, but part of it was that we were thinking in a guest-focused mentality. And not to say that we don't have a guest-focused mentality. I think, you know, one of our goals at the show is, like, if the guests are having a good time, the show will probably be good.
Having a good time, yeah.
And I think our listeners want that too. You know, a lot of the feedback we hear is around, like, it's really easy to listen to, and it's, like, nice to, like, turn on, and, like, the good vibes is the whole show, you know, it's a segment, but yeah, I lost my train of thought.
Just like how you pick people to get on the show.
Yeah. So at first we were like reaching out to people, like not getting, you know, as much. Like, I mean, we got a guest basically for every week because we record on Fridays.
Right.
Now it's a little bit of a mixture of people saying like, yo, what's up? Like, I'd like to be on the show, which is something we didn't have when we started. So we're getting kind of like a rate of return on people who want to be on the show. The other thing I think is that we do want to highlight community leaders. So we do have some sort of prioritization for folks who haven't been on before, that maybe got a message or something that they're trying to get out. Like, because we do talking as well as music. Like, it's, you know, so we're kind of doing both. But right now it's pretty much based on relationships. Like, we have principles for what we want to represent with the show. We've had to learn, you know, like, this is another thing. So you can say, like, you know, how do you book the show? Well, that's a really big question if you're trying to run the best show you can, because, you know, Wasey first pointed out that if we're getting artists that have an auditory medium, and then we have artists in the show who are like a visual medium, like a dancer, for instance.
Right.
They're not going to have as much to contribute, and so you have to balance that out, right?
Right.
And we are really resistant, I think, in our philosophy of running the show, we are really resistant to having kind of people put us into a box as to what the show is. You know, we would say we're a hip-hop show, but like hip-hop, like consciousness, like the deep, you know, the deep stuff, the hip-hop as a culture, that kind of stuff. But that's also not just what we are, you know, like we're, you know, people might say, well, it's a native show or it's an indigenous show. And, you know, we do have a lot of indigenous content. We have native content, but we also don't want to just be that. We just want to make the show.
Like, just dope shit.
Yeah.
Word. So, I noticed, kind of keeping on with that hip-hop theme.
Yeah.
It was something that you guys have the guest recite is peace, love, recently solidarity.
I know that one we had, so it's funny you caught that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I noticed, like, for the longest time, you had the peace, the love, and the safely having fun. And I was like, okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll ask first, why do you have the guest recite that first?
Well, okay, so when you're thinking about creating a platform where people can have a freedom of expression, you simultaneously open the door for a lot of really good stuff and a lot of really negative stuff.
Yes.
And, you know, they both kind of come together. And so I facilitated a lot of workshops, and I found that when you get people to buy in and some sort of thinking, that people will respect it. You know, like if they feel what you're saying, they'll respect it. And so we do the Sweety, what you're talking about is the Sweety Treaty Show. Treaty,
yes.
And so that's something, you know, like to get a bit of history of treaties in Canada here for the United States, or for the show here.
Yes.
Over on the East Coast, the first treaties that were a thing were oral treaties, and they were between the settlers and the indigenous folks out there on the East Coast. And all the cultures that were here that we're here. So you even talk about it in past tense, right? Because
Right.
this is all Western society around us.
Right.
But these cultures are still here. But the origin of these cultures is oral, and so like agreements between people mean a lot. And so I also thought of it as a way to decolonize what we're trying to do with our art. And I don't know if it's working or not. I feel like it is, but that's like when you're in this kind of creative space, that's associated with social justice. You are just trying things. You're prototyping things. And I think that treaty, was a way for us to kind of decolonize ourselves, but also like come to some sort of agreement with each other that we're going to be intentful to put good things out there, and when I say peace, love, solidarity, and safely having fun, that's my man KRS-One,
Yes.
that's not something I came up with. When he was talking about the principles of hip-hop, we're not talking about the elements,
Just the principles
of the culture,
Right.
Peace, love, solidarity, and safely having fun,
Well,
right? Like,
solidarity. He says unity.
word.
I want to ask, why is that that's kind of interchangeable for you? Is it?
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe I thought I heard him say solidarity.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, it could very well have said it, I guess. But I can say why I think solidarity is important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, there's so many oppressive systems around us that we're all a part of, right? Society is not separate. The old thing you always hear is like anytime somebody's getting fired up about issues, they're like, yeah, society, man, it's just like, for real, your society, like, so there's all these oppressive systems around, and the only way that these systems are going to change is if we change, is if the people feel differently about things. And so solidarity is like when you learn about how somebody is oppressed within this society, the same society that you're a part of, you are not gonna shy away from that. You're gonna stand up for that when you feel that, but it's a feeling thing. That's how it is for me, is trying to stand for the right things,
It's kind of like, sorry to interject, but it's kind of like injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere.
Totally. And it's not like we're in this, so in Western, it's really hard to decolonize your thinking. And I'm not even going to say I'm there, or remotely close, but I am working on it. And, but one of the colonial ways of thinking is comparison, and we compare ourselves all the time. Even in
I do it all the time.
in freestyles and stuff, right? And you find what is unique about Cypher Club. It's not that we're not competitive when we get in there, but it's not about being the best, mainstream kind of styled rapper or any styled rapper. People feel you when you're just being yourself, and that's decolonized. That's a way of thinking that's good. But you can't simultaneously compare yourself to somebody else or consider somebody else hostile and be in solidarity with that person. And so you can ask yourself, how do I build solidarity with this person?
And that's breaking down those colonial.
That's exactly it. And
thinking.
To sum up colonization, it's divide and conquer. You divide people. You get people, to think they have to fit into a certain box.
Word. So, one question I do have is, you do freestyle with your guests.
Yeah.
When you're on the show, why do you choose to do that? Because most show hosts that I see don't freestyle with their guests.
Well, there's so many reasons. I'll tell you one of the fun reasons why. I learned so much from freestyling with the guests, man, and it's that's the way it should be learned. You know what I mean? When we think about the show, can I read the mission statement for the show?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Oh, was a part of the mission statement? Nah, I might be wrong.
Right.
But was a part of the mission statement influenced by the mission statement of Mount Royal University?
No. I would say the mission statement. So So I'm one member of the Sweety Treaty Show crew, one of 4.
Right.
And we all bring different skills to the table. We all bring different abilities, and the idea of team is real. You know, like we're not trying to have all of us have the exact same skill set. But we're also learning how to support each other in the skill sets, right? Like a sports team. You know, if somebody gets injured or something, you need to be able to adjust to support, you know, whatever the team function is, which for us generally is doing the show. One of my skill sets is facilitation. So I have found it really powerful in my past projects to come up with a vision statement from the people. So like if you can take all words from the people and make a mission statement with it that they're participating in, is a really powerful way to unify your team. So that's, you know, something that I contributed here, which I can read now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so the Sweety Treaty Show is an expression of hip-hop through collaboration, humor, and freestyling. We present a unique presence to the world, using our voice to showcase the raw interactions of our community. We are creating inside and outside of the booth. Our team will continue learning and improving our values, friendship, flow, and vibe.
Word.
Yeah.
So who came up with that?
Our team. Like
Everybody together.
nobody can say, yo, I made that. All of us can say, yo, I made that.
Word.
That was like, you know, but that's hard, right? Because you want to create buy-in for people to work together, right? Like if people feel like they're being represented in a good way, they'll want to put effort into it. You know, they'll care about it because it is them.
Right.
So, like by making a mission statement where it is people, like that's not just me. You know, I facilitated it. I provided a space in which we could have everybody put input in, but it's not me. It's all of us.
And that's a part of you being a community leader. You know what I mean? That's why that's why I put that kind of title on you.
Right.
It's just because you, like, I can see you really think about all the different aspects of how to get people involved in one project. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't expect it. Like, we have casual conversations and we have, you know what I mean? And we just shoot the shit sometimes.
Yeah.
But now asking you these questions is like, whoa, like you really think about this shit.
Well, yeah, and I'm kind of showing off a little bit because I know it's the, you know, I know it's the recording, man.
No,
like,
but I respect that.
I want to
that's
share
awesome.
a little bit, you know. I want to, like, you know. So it's like nice to come here because I know on the show I really value is a place for me to highlight other people. You know, I do believe that leadership or leaders should be measured by how they empower the people around them.
Absolutely.
If it's a different measurement, I don't think it's leadership. So, like, when we're working on the show, I do, you know, get carried away in my own world sometimes, but lots of times my intent is just to simply highlight the people around me. Because if I can do that, I feel like the show will do good. Like, that's my, you know, when I'm here with you, you know, I want to share a little bit. You know?
Word, absolutely. Okay, and the last question before we play some music is, what is the Mikey B show?
Yeah.
Because I saw it on your SoundCloud, like a little bit.
Since I was on the
and
show,
it was like years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? The Mikey B show?
Yeah. So I used to be a dating coach, and that job we kind of shifted or pivoted, and we kind of got into life coaching, and I just wanted to do some sort of show while I was working there that was like, I was highlighting conversations or things that were important for people to feel and to think about. And like, shout out to my man Daniel Fexa, who might even come on the Sweety Treaty Show sometime. Said he was interested, so that'd be fun.
Daniel who?
Daniel Fexa.
Daniel Fexa, okay.
You know Fexa?
I don't know Fexa.
Okay.
But if you're watching, shouts out.
Yeah, what up, man? So, like, I want to talk a little bit about where my music came from. I think, like, one of those roots would be with Daniel Fexa, because he came to, so we had like a 3,000 square foot penthouse
What?
that we were working out of for the show. Like we were like a startup, right? And
Wow.
so I lived there and worked there. And one of the rooms that we had that was extra got turned into kind of like a music production studio. And so Fexa would come and produce beats and make music. And that was the first time I was able to hop in a booth and like spit. Yeah. And there's this like, there's this, I want to say it was like, so my man, Audio, who's he's like a electronic producer, electronic DJ. He was in Calgary. He moved out to, I want to say it's Toronto, but it's out east. Yeah, there's this like remix they did of it. It's like they like looped a little bit of what I was saying, and then like the kind of like fades in. It's like da 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 da, and it like kind of fades in. It's like I love life. My mom is a saint.
Yeah.
She's got goods, baked goods up to the hood. Tastes so good, tastes so good, tastes so good. I love it. And then it's like this like breakdown. Anyway, so it was like the first time I had ever like freestyled and recorded anything, and it was also a really significant experience for me because I've seen how you could take, like you captured audio and then you just had like beats with it, and you know, I'd never experienced that before.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to play one of your tracks.
Sure, yeah, nice.
Get
Well,
us
what
in
are
the
we going to
mood.
listen to?
We're gonna listen to. This won't be playing over the show, unfortunately.
Oh, word.
But I will be playing for the viewers at home. I will be playing a clip of Michael freestyling.
Word.
But we'll be playing a track called "Righteous Anger."
Oh, nice. Yeah, nice.
I want to play because it's easily my favorite track of yours. But
Cool.
unfortunately, the viewers at home, they won't be able to hear it. But I will put links in the description for Michael's MC GoodMedicine's music for the Sweety Treaty Show, for everything. So check in the description.
What up? Yeah.
Everything will be there for you guys.
Yeah, if you're feeling frustrated and you just like want to feel like you're right, you know, that's Righteous Anger. That's what the song's about.
Word. All right, let's put it.
Yo, I'm here being real, and I'm trying to say things that you can feel. Get off your mind, get off your chair, walk a few steps if you dare in my shoes. Yo, check it out too, we got things to do, and if we throw our problems into a pile, you'll be asking for yours back in a while. You can't stand to be in other people's shoes. Well, let me tell you, I choose to be the dude that's chilling here. He's in the mood cause he's loving you, and he's got to do. Let me send you a message into your brain, check it out. Yo, I'm not doing this for fame, I'm doing this to send you a message to your heart. Yo, there's light in the dark.
That feels like if we were freestyling in like Cypher Club and somebody just put on a beat, and then you just went in there
Right.
with something kind of like prepared.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that song was really. It's funny. Like I want to represent.
Hold up, real quick.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I
I won't put this on camera.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or do you want to just, because I can just like...
I can give you directions.
Yeah,
too.
and then we can stop by somewhere there to grab something to eat.
That'd be great.
Okay. Or like something to drink or something.
Yeah. Well, we gotta stop. We gotta get coffee.
Okay.
I gotta get coffee.
Okay.
Yo, have you had Glamorgan? Can you eat cheese?
No cheese.
Oh darn. Okay. No.
Why?
Well, the best cheese buns in Calgary are Glamorgan Bakery cheese buns.
Oh,
They
shit.
come with like I want to say it's like 6 cheese buns, and they're like, I just can't describe it to you. But go pick them up and microwave them for like 10 or 15 seconds is one. Put it in your mouth.
Melts.
You're welcome. For real. This is the best.
Shouts out to, what's it called again?
Glamorgan Bakery.
Glamorgan Bakery. Where is it?
Yeah. In Glamorgan. Yeah.
Glamorgan.
Yeah, it's like the intersection. There's like a little strip mall at 37th Street Southwest and Richmond Road, or 33rd Ave.
Word. Sounds good. Well, if you're ever looking for some cheese buns, go to Glamorgan
Yeah, get
Bakery. We might, if you want to grab some shit, we can.
No, I thought maybe. Yo, I want to
No
just
cheese.
say this now. Maybe I'll be the first one to say it. I feel like I'm in Comedians in Cars.
Oh, shit.
Jerry Seinfeld, man.
You know what? It's crazy. I haven't watched Comedians in Cars.
Yeah.
We were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. So it's like, but I will just to see what's going on.
Right.
Because I feel it's a good segment. I'm not the only one who's done like a segment in the car. Trust me. I'm no way
Right.
the founder of this.
You're right, yeah.
But I just try and put my own little twist on it. You know what I mean?
I think it's cool, man. I'm really happy to be here. This is like, I know, you know, I just want to say, like, I appreciate your patience. You know, this was going to happen, I think, like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And, man, I'm just,
Dying.
being in school is really, it's so hard, especially for me because I'm so easily distracted. Like, when I'm doing something, I can just do it. But if, like, I'm doing something fun and school, you know, I'd way rather just do the fun thing. So I have to, like, really dial myself into school because it takes me so long to do my homework.
Dog, I'm just happy we made this happen.
Yeah.
Like this was a process.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your hands on the wheel.
Yeah, keep the hands on the wheel. Hands on the wheel.
Yeah, safety first. Hands on the wheel.
Yeah, all right. Shout out to Schoolboy Q for that song. It's Hands on the Wheel. Anyway,
Yeah, I just started listening to him a little bit.
really?
Well, you and I want to say it was Braxton recommended an album each. I listened to them both. I can't remember.
Hold on, I got a question.
Yeah.
When did you first get into hip hop?
Yeah, okay. I feel like when I was young, I was into it, but I literally wouldn't have said it out loud. Like,
Was it like a thing you were ashamed of?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, where I grew up, Prince George, you know, shout out to my PG homies.
Prince George, like out east?
West, yeah.
West. Oh,
yeah,
where's that?
British Columbia.
See, I'm lost.
Yeah, it's like a forestry town. It's like really racist there.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's like really racist everywhere, but like
Right.
it's overtly, like people are open about it, you know. Yeah, it's like it's a pretty crazy place to grow up, and so like, but I did listen to a lot of metal, and so I remember, well, like I even heard Mercules. I was listening back to one of the podcasts that we did on the Sweety Treaty Show with MCGM, and he was saying,
Oh, Mutagem is, hold up.
Tyler.
Yes,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
So we were chatting, and Mercules from Vancouver there. I guess he was influenced a ton by Slipknot. I really dig his style, but that's what I grew up with was like Slipknot, Metallica,
Like metal and like rock.
metal and hard rock and classic rock. You know, really, yeah, just like kind of like country, white Canadian. You know, a little bit of country there, but like country wasn't cool there because it wasn't like intense. Like people liked it, like my dad, but like the
that
people
shit.
who were like cool, you know, so to speak, I guess weren't really.
Listening
But
to
they
country.
weren't that cool, you know. Thinking back to it, I was like, damn, man, like that's a lot of patriarchy, that's a lot of hate.
It's straight this way, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, Zam, what got into like I guess what was the first album that you heard? Like the first hip hop album?
Yeah.
Do you
So
remember?
okay,
Or like the first
well,
songs
like,
that you heard, or
well, okay, so like a few years ago, I was talking to my buddy Tim, and I freestyled with my buddy Tim before, like just like actually like years ago, when I was living in Winnipeg, my buddy Dan, he had a guitar, and we would go to the Forks in Winnipeg, and he would just kind of like play a beat with his guitar, and I would just like
Okay.
rap, but it was like, you know, like it was like I didn't know what I was doing, but I wanted to do it. I just felt like I could do it. And then it's like fast forward, you know, a whole bunch of years, and here I am hanging out with my buddy Tim, and we'd freestyled like a couple times just for fun. And he put me on to the Herbalizer. He played Saturday Night by the Herbalizer.
never heard of them?
Oh, it's so good. It's like some old 90s stuff. I really like their sounds. And And so I was listening to it, I was like, damn, this is like really good. So I bought the album that night. I got into like buying my music. I used to like tell everybody, I was like, buy your music.
Yeah.
And so I bought Saturday night, and then I just bought the whole album. I was like, what the heck? And there's this track on there called Mother, and it's just like a beat. So this is probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I remember I was living on my own at the time, and I was just like listening to the album because it was just great to like listen through. And Mother came on, and I just started freestyling like alone. Like it wasn't an intent. Like I wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna freestyle now. Like the words just started kind of coming, and I remember going back and talking to Tim and being like, man, I feel like I just need to make music right now. That's what I feel like I need to do. Sorry, turn right here. So that's why that kind of got me started as like okay, like I can actually do this rap thing, but then I didn't know what I was going to call myself, or like, worrying about all these things that don't really matter. But that's when the idea to have a studio in my house started.
So that was like one of the first times you freestyled. Like we're freestyling.
Just freestyling, like with myself, like not trying to do it. Not trying to do it for anybody else. Just doing it because that's what felt. I would stay in this lane, and then we can just pop over. There's a Starbucks up here.
Okay.
We'll grab a coffee. Michael needs his coffee.
We'll take a break.
But yeah, that was what got me. That was what got me started. I was like the first time I like let myself freestyle, because you know how like you go through phases where like you are really into freestyle, and then there's like you're like, like I could, but I'm just not totally. That was the first time when I had just like it was the right thing to do. Like it was there wasn't even any thinking in it.
It was like an intuit.
Yeah.
Like an intuit kind of thing.
That's totally it. Into it. And that's, I think, how it feels now. Because if I have, keep going down here, it's where this white truck is.
Oh, okay, word. Yeah, I forgot. I'm thinking about coffee now. It's all good. Well, at least I know like one of the first times you started freestyling. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a small break, a coffee break.
Coffee break. We're gonna get charged,
and then we're gonna come back and do some freestyling.
Woo! Get ready.
Michael's going to grab some fucking coffee. I'll see if I can grab something. We'll see.
A few moments later.
Okay, let's get it. So we are gonna get into some freestyling, which I'm down.
This is the fun stuff, man.
Yes, I'm down to get into some freestyling. And how about like favorite artist of all time?
Favorite artist of all time. Well, I know I was telling you something funny about Rubik's yesterday. Just how like we can get like starstruck, and I think it's cool if the people that you're into are like local people, like people that you make music with. And so I guess I try to do that. I'm not totally there, right? Like commercial music sounds pretty good, like when it's manicured and yeah, really enjoy listening to Rubik's spit. I think as like a freestyle artist, Rubik's is like really technical. His energy is like really good.
And we just had Rubik's on.
I know. I watched the whole one, man. It's really good.
On the drive-by, that's what we're calling it. Which is Hold Up. Which I want to say thank you to MC GoodMedicine, this guy right here, for giving me that name.
Word.
Because I was thinking of a name for the segment. Because the thing is, I do want to still do a podcast.
Right.
But I want this segment to be something different.
Yeah, and I want you to know that you deserve that name, man. Like, you deserve good things. You deserve to have your own style. These kind of things. So, like, not even that name is totally mine to give you, but, like, we were just talking about it last night. It's like, still kind of working on some names. And I had thought it when I was listening to it. You know, I thought, well, the drive-by might be, you know, I don't know. So anyway, so that's, yeah. So I'm glad you feel it.
Yeah, I feel it. I'm fucking with it.
Yeah.
Okay, word. All right, so let's get into some fucking freestyles. Woo! Front seat freestyles.
The front seat freestyle.
The front seat freestyles.
Coming at you.
Coming at you hard. I got a beat CD. Shout outs to Beats by Khan.
What up, Khan?
He's the producer for these beats.
Beats by Khan.
If you want to submit your beats, to get them played on the show, just email me. I'll put the email in the description. It's at xoundmovement@gmail.com. If you want to submit beats for the show, get it in there. We'll freestyle to them. We'll give you a shout out. We'll work something out. So with that being said, let's get into some freeze.
What?
Got a beat CD.
I know, this is dope. Who's rocking CDs, man? Yo, you rocking CDs.
Shout outs to CDs.
Yeah. Compact disc. I just bought a video game yesterday. And came on like a CD. So everybody downloads it.
I don't want to give you the same beats that I gave Rubik's.
Word.
Alright. We'll do like 3 or 4 beats.
Cool. Oh yeah. You want to start us off?
Yeah, fuck it, I'll start us off.
Okay.
Okay. I had a job interview at Frito-Lay, and they never called me back, so I just stick to the boom and the bap, and then I just get back to a fucking rap attacking. I am just relaxing. I'm trying to get myself in a Cadillac, and you'll be smoking for your cataracts, and I just get my motherfucking max in. But I don't tote no guns, and yes, we be chilling under the fucking sun. This is the one. Shout outs to KRS-One, the best. KRS, he is the fresh.
Yeah.
Man, shout outs to Rubik. Shout outs to everybody getting into it.
Yeah.
And shout outs to MC GoodMedicine, man.
Yeah.
Come on and just let us in.
Yo, I get all these thoughts in my mind. I'm here, and sometimes my things drive me blind. Get dropped, drop the mic. Yo, I get scared, and I'm reaching new heights, cause I get myself in these uncomfortable places. Yo, we chillin' with all of the races. Get connected, not let us bury it apart. Yo, here we go, married apart. Yo, we connect like we not. Looking at each other like we gonna get hot. Yo, this hip-hop thing is what we sing. Yo, we're here, and you know we're killing it with rings. Yeah, coming back to the freestyle. You know that we go for a while. Yo, MC GoodMedicine here, just spreading like a garden from heaven.
Hey, from heaven, man, I just tell them, man, let us in. This is what you call the let them in. It's a show. Shout outs to the Sweety Treaty Show. Hey, and I got the real flows, and nobody knows where it's gonna go. But we just try and guide it. I just be trying to cert it and to certify it.
Yeah.
Yes, this is what you call the guys, and man, I was serving 5 guys and fries. Cause I was doing skip the dishes. The shit was kind of like granting all my wishes, but then I had to change up my fucking hustle. Then I had to get my shit out of the rubble. Man, shout outs to Nipsey Hussle, the best. Man, he's the coolest. We just got into it. Spit it like this is the truest. I just spit it inside of the booth and outside of the booth. And this is what you call on the road. I'm just trying to be a prince like they kiss the toad. And I just, man, I'm trying to chill with the flow. And we're gonna go on a green light. Man, I got the motherfucking mean type. Oh shit, I got the mean mic. Michael, get it mean right.
Yeah, I get it mean right. We drive by the mall and we drive into new heights. With the drive-by, here we do the freestyle segment. Yo, I'm here and I'm not ignorant. We can get a little bit better by listening to each other and getting with your brother connected, not separating. Yo, family is what I'm creating, not trying to get away from my nation. Yo, this freestyle is not kinda hating. Yo, I'm just about all that love stuff. Here we go, and I don't like to bluff, cause I'm truthful with my words. I speak my truth, and you know how you heard all the things that I've experienced emotionally, things that are gonna be hopefully getting better one day, but I get stuck, and sometimes I feel like I got to pray. I go to a tree and offer the tobacco. Yo, I'm not kinda wacko. If I'm talking to the tree, I'm talking to the spirits. Yo, this lyrics, you can hear it.
Hey. Next beat. Yo, you know where the fuck we're going?
Well, kind of. I don't know. I know kind of where we're at right now.
Okay, we're on a journey right now.
We're on a journey.
We're on a journey.
Checking out the neighborhood with all the walkers. Here we go, and you know what? A rocker. The hip hop thing, you know, Papa. Yo, I'm here like a hip hopper. Yeah, this lo-fi beat got me popping. Yo, I'm just here like the telephone pole holding up the communication.
Here we go.
Okay.
We had some technical difficulties. We just spit it with the faculty. Come and get back to me, rapping G. Spit it like it's crystal. You can get a little bit of missiles. And we don't divide it. We just be chilling. I keep it fucking going on the fucking road. Never knowing if it's not snowing. And my name is not Edward Snowden. I didn't do no WikiLeaks. Is that even the same guy? I don't. That's the real facts. Okay, word.
Yeah.
I'ma spit it like it's so absurd. This is what you call the nouns and the verbs. You can get a bird and you can go and serve it. And I just be chilling in the curving. I just be learning these words and I be like a fucking wordsmith. Yes.
Like a blacksmith.
Like a blacksmith. Come and get your rap shit.
Yeah, here we go back, man. Yo, MC GoodMedicine in the passenger seat. Yo, I'm bringing all that heat. You can bump up and down and say all of these things I need, but you can chill and be on the street. Yo, get connected to the people around you. I keep saying it, and this is how I found you, dude. So we keep coming back. We try to make it stay, and who knows if it will, but we will do anything we can to keep this freestyle going. And bam, I think it's just taking pictures now. No, it's not. Okay, I'm here and I'm just kind of hot. Yo, I got you to think about better things, better days, and better rings. Materialism is just about things. Yo, this keeps falling off and it's funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign this off.
Yeah.
Alright, hold up, I'm gonna sign this off. This is Esteban Xound, here with the one and only Michael Denham Broadfoot.
What up?
AKA MC GoodMedicine, AKA Apis Konaki.
What up?
We had a bit of technical difficulties, but we're still getting it to you guys.
Yeah.
With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
And we're out, yo.
Yo, we're out. Check us out.
Peace.
Peace.